Greetings, Groaners! Episode 181 sees us 19 away from episode 200. Yes, you're listening to episode 181 now. Hello! No matter how many times I say it, both myself and admin Nicole cannot quite believe it. Nearly there to 200. I must say, well, there wasn't two minds about it. Live recordings will not be returning for the long-term future. The reason why is it's just easier on myself. I haven't got to rush home from work, and I can edit in real time rather than recording extra bits, which are the reverse games. That way the live audience doesn't get the full experience of the Groan Zone. Whereas when you're listening to the finished product, which is what you're listening to now, everything is in there. Sorry, Groaners, I know I did say live recording would return, but it's starting to look like more and more as we go on, it isn't going to. To make up for that though, we have a bumper stock episode for you this week. Admin Nicole has researched facts on Black Day, as well as bringing us another story from the land of Creepy Corner. There's also plenty of games abound, and lots of crazy Groantent. Your games being, don't quote me on that, Gimmie Da Question, Please Reverse the Music, I always sing it like that, I don't know why, and Admin Nicole's Anagram Anxiety. Audience members have also reached out with a groan via email, and a verbal double of, oh, lucky unlucky. Keep them coming, Groaners. Without you, there is no audience groan, as well as other ideas in other sections. Thank you. I'll begin the groaniness with my groans. People who stand over you as you try to do something. Why are you standing there watching what I'm doing? Are you either learning from me or trying to put me off? I will never understand why people do this. Please stop perching on someone's shoulder like some obsessive parrot, or penguin, or other flightless bird. Stop watching what people are doing over their shoulders. Please, it is off-putting. People ask for a drink, then backwash it. Look, I don't mind sharing a drink with someone from a can or a bottle, as I'm nice like that. But what gets on my tripe is when some cretinous oaf decides to get a mouthful and let it flow back into the can or bottle that I've been drinking from. I said you could have some of my drink, not giving my drink back with extra spittle. Yuck of the yuckiness. You might as well keep it to yourself. I'll go buy another one. Thanks for that. Leg cramp in bed that rudely awakens you from peaceful slumber. If you've ever been to the holiday land of Legville or Painville from Legville, don't go. It's a crap place. There are few things more upsetting and hurtful than being awoken by your leg locking yourself in such a way it'd make Houdini proud. I hate this feeling, especially when I've been asleep. Let me sleep and not suffer leg lock. Thank you, the deities of leg wellness. Those are my groans shoved into the top shelf, along with other top shelfy things. The audience groan will pop up later on, but for anything else, let's have a burst of knowledge about Black Day from Admin Nicole in the fact drop. While Valentine's Day in Korea focuses on couples or people in relationships, Black Day mainly celebrates single people. Initially, April 14th was seen as a day of sorrow, hence the name Black. It was a day when single people could come together to mourn their singleness and drown their sorrows in comfort food. Comfort food. More facts to come later on. Let's have it now with our first game, which is, of course, Please Reverse the Music. If you're good Groaners and you know your music, you'll know back to front and back again. You're going to get 3 tunes, which are backwards. No, you're not going to get them played forwards because I don't want to be sued. But you should enjoy this, and some of them do sound like a demon incantation. I am sorry about that, but I can't help how things sound in reverse. Good luck for round number 1. Here it comes. If you're good Groaners, you'll know that one. I know In a test play I did, I thought this is too easy. But the next ones might be a bit difficult, so pause here. Have a think what that one could be, because you're about to get round 2 when you unpause, which should be now. Because here comes round number 2. Yes, pause here, Groaners, because that one was definitely too easy as well. So by now you should have 2 points. Maybe. But the third one, the third one should definitely catch a lot of you out. Especially those of you who were born after the 90s. Good luck, Groaners. Here comes round number 3. Pause here, Groaners, after you play the third one. Maybe go through them all again. Have a guess. See what you think they could be. You never know, you might get lucky. Just have a guess. I want the artist and I want the song, just to be more particular. The songs will be spun around later on, but not played, and I'll tell you exactly what they are with the game answers. That is, of course, for later, Groaners, because now I'm going to do an off-the-cuff why or why. Recently, there was a massive theft of a truckload of Kit Kat bars. Now, granted, Kit Kats are a very nice, tasty bar. If you've never had one, I recommend you do so. Go for the plain ones. I imagine these are the ones that were stolen. Not the Kit Kat cereal, which I've never had, but apparently someone in a shop here just opened the box and had some free ones. Weirdos. But these people stole a truck full of Kit Kats. Now, why do you just want to get massive waistlines? Do you want to have a quick turnover for cash? Or do you just want to pass them on to somebody else? Or did you forget a Mother's Day present? I do not know. The question is, why? Why oh why would you see a truck full of Kit Kats? Surely as thieves, there's another way to make money. Is there some faraway line where Kit Kats are like a drug? Oh yeah, inject Kit Kats! Really? If you're going to steal something, aim bigger, aim higher. Because now, trucks have been escorted with security vehicles. I never thought I'd see the day when chocolate gets a police escort. Nicking Kit Kats. I've just got to ask, why oh why? We've had whys, we've had groans, we've had games. Now we're going to flip the script and go on for some creepy with Admin Nicole's Creepy Corner. Your story for this week, a lifeline through the stars. Valencia, in her role as Star Goddess, and through some form of curiosity, willingly followed Dr. Quack into a cell. It was padded, comfortable, the best they could offer. It was clear this was built just for her. Valencia sat down in the padded chairs, making herself comfortable and not having a care in the world about the situation she was trapped in. She was over the initial shock. I was simply just curious, and a little bored now, perhaps even a little angry, but she wasn't quite sure. Dr. Quack stroked her face and admired her beauty. He reminded her how no one could be more worthy of standing by his side. He then left, knowing how much Lionel had missed her. He wanted them to have a chance to talk. For minutes, he would just sit by her side and stare at her, happier than ever possible. His father was back, the plan was succeeding, and now his mother was here too. This was the best day of Lionel's life. He'd only smile and watch her, almost too stunned to speak. Valencia, on the other hand, trying to ignore him, was working out how to get the handcuffs off herself without killing the stars trapped inside. Well, Lionel, I've time to kill while I figure this out, so why don't you amuse me for a bit? It doesn't seem like you're going anywhere, so how about a story? Maybe you can tell me what this whole business is with the number 22. Or maybe, I don't know, you can tell me why you're so obsessed with me being your mother, Valencia asked. Lionel was beaming with joy. A conversation with his mother, one that she actually wanted. This must have been the first time since they found out who he was in their past life. There was so much he wanted to talk about, so much he wanted to say, but he had to start with the most important one. He felt a connection to her in a past life, one that couldn't be explained. It was a sort of invisible pull, and from the moment he first saw her, he knew they were connected by an unbreakable bond. It wasn't until this lifetime, when he and his father grew the world tree from the seed they stole from death, that he would know the truth. The world tree in its infinite glory showed glimpses of countless worlds countless lives lived, as Dr. Quack would sit at the base of the tree finding the words he needed to map. The calculations that had to be made, Lionel would glimpse all the different lifelines he had before this one. In some, he had Dr. Quack with him from a young age. In others, they had to both suffer until they found each other. Yet one constant kept joining them. In some lifetimes she was a star, in some a human, and in one all-important one she was the North Star, the wish-granting star. It was this star that caused everything. Sorry to interrupt you there, Lionel, but other than admitting to stealing from death, which I'm curious how you managed given his base is now on the moon, but you're trying to say your obsession with me is my fault? Valencia asked, now more interested in where this was going than the handcuffs she needed to break free from. Lionel smiled more, beaming with joy, even moving closer to sit right next to her. She was listening to him, talking to him, and it was willing, or sort of willing, but he couldn't be happier. It was many lifetimes ago, too many for anyone to count now. A young boy at the age of just 7 lived in a small village, a cruel place full of bandits where law stopped existing. He had no hope left in him, except for the night sky and the North Star, that one star that shone brighter than all the others. It was the only light in such a dark place. Every night the boy prayed to the star with all he had. All he wanted was freedom. He didn't care about love or happiness. He just wanted freedom. The star shone bright like every night, but his prayer went unanswered, until one night when he had enough. As the scars on his body grew, he became more distant than ever. He escaped the village and ran straight to the lake, not far from it. Maybe it wasn't far enough. Maybe it wouldn't have done anything, but he was in no state to go further. He remembered the moon-controlled water, and in one final effort, he claimed his own fate. He stood on the pier and stared down at the lake with the full moon reflected in it. He picked up a rusted blade and sliced off his long dark hair that had fallen into the lake as an offering, before throwing the blade into the grass. Then he turned his eyes to the moon above and the almighty North Star. I ask one final time. I have no need for happiness or love. I need only freedom. My faith in you has never wavered, and even now it will not. Yet the time has come to carve my own fate. So if you can't help me, then I shall have to help myself, the boy cried out. As he looked down at his own reflection one last time, he saw not himself, but a man much older than him. Then the lake glowed pure white before a being stood in front of him. A woman with pure silver hair in a dress made of stars themselves. The boy knew without a doubt this was the North Star, finally showing itself to him. I'm sorry for what you have suffered. The love you grew up with was no means love, merely hatred and cruelty disguised as love, to make you accept it more. If I could have ended it for you, I would have, but even the stars have laws. This man you see before you is just like you. He suffers greatly. Neither of you have ever known true love, yet both of you have suffered immensely. He was betrayed by the very people who claimed to love him too. It would go against every law of the stars, but the both of you are destined to suffer for an eternity. I can sever that fate and tie you both together, but I can't promise how long it'll go. This bind will be never-ending. It will stretch across every lifetime, every reincarnation, every lifeline. You will always be fated to find each other no matter what happens, and my life will be bound to you both as punishment, to keep you safe across every lifetime. I shall be your mother, but be warned, memories rarely cross over when one life ends and another begins. This will not be easy for anyone. I can do this for you, but you must be sure, as it can never be undone, she explained. The boy smiled. He knew not of what might happen, and yet the very star goddess herself heard him. Every prayer and every wish he had made for years, she never ignored him. She was to find a way to save him. To think she would even betray the very star she governed for a mere human. He vowed to find the goddess in every lifetime, to make sure that his family would be whole. The man who would become his father, and the star goddess who would become his mother. One lifetime would come when he would have his family finally complete, and he would stop at nothing to make that happen. Nicole, you know, in some circles we call what Lionel has here an obsession, and I think that might become Lionel's undoing, I believe, in this case. Well written, Nicole, as always, and we look forward to more in the forthcoming feature of Creepy Corner. Sticking with Nicole Groaners, we have fact drop number 2 for Black Day. In South Korea, some people celebrate Black Day by eating jjajangmyeon, which is noodles in black bean sauce. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Lots of J's in it. I did my best. You may see companies holding jajangmyeon eating contests for groups or single people enjoying this black noodle dish in solitude. The sauce's black colour goes according to the day's name. The jajangmyeon dish is also seen as comfort food by many, which fits the narrative that single people need a lot of comfort. Well, I just want noodles. Yes, that's one of my favourite food, Groaners, but I'm glad to know that noodles have a place in the hearts of single people. Thank you, world knowledge. Thank you. The Fact Drop will return in a little while. We now play our movie game, which is, of course, don't quote me on that. I have 3 movies. Some can be considered classics, others not so much. Depends on what you like, Groaners. Here they come. Round number 1 to start us off.
And may I see this storage facility? No. And why not? Because you did not use the magic word.
I'll give you a tip, Groaners. Well, couple 1984 and spawned an animated series and is a classic. And yes, has had quite a few different sequels. Get yourself unpaused, Groaners, because here comes round number 2.
America is an irradiated wasteland. Within it lies a city. Mega blocks. Mega highways. Mega City 1.
This one originally had a release in 1995, but 2012 saw a remake, and unfortunately the marketing panned it, as did some critics, so it didn't do too well, but has a cult following on DVD and happens to be one of my guilty pleasure favourites. Another tip, it stars Carl Urban, just to help you out there. Good luck, Groaners. For round number 2, pause and then unpause after you give me your answer as we move on to round number 3.
That's a very dangerous gun. You know, maybe you better let me hang on to this one for you, huh? Don't mind, do you? No. You sure? Oh, take it. I don't need it.
Now, surprisingly, Groaners, this one was a big classic, I believe, in the 90s, but as well as having lots of action in, it was PG rated. And it also stars one of the most annoying characters I've ever heard of to this day. Lots of aliens, lots of action, and I'll give you a tip. Stars Mr. Willis himself. Good luck, Groaners. Pause here, then unpause as we move on to another section of the show, but the answers will come later on. Well, Groaners, we've had the why or whys, but now we've got to go for the what the's. And this is a big what the. Earlier on in the week, I was looking through stuff online, and I found out people enjoy eating burnt toast. Now, we're not talking lightly burnt, we're talking proper carbonated, like charcoal burnt toast. Now, some people say there's health benefits, some say there isn't. But would you want to eat charcoal? Really? Like you could draw with your bread on a piece of paper. It is that, like, completely burnt. This is definitely a food-orientated what the, and it is a what the I don't believe I will understand. If you can explain why you like burnt toast, please write into the show, because still, you will not convince me. But that is the what the for this week's episode. We are now going to move on to the audience groaners. As you're well aware, I've had my groan. It's only fair that you get to have yours. And this week's comes in via email from Paula K of Liverpool. And she groans, "I am sick to death of my neighbour's kids screaming on the trampoline they have in their back garden. All I want is peace and quiet. Do they not understand what times are best to jump on the trampoline and scream? That would be a Saturday, maybe even midday on a Sunday. But never on a work day after school when I've just got in from work and I'm tired. Yes, I've usually got my own kids to deal with, but they don't bounce around with and scream on a trampoline. I wish my next door neighbours had more consideration." Does anyone out there have any sympathy or is in the same situation, Mr. E? Well, Paula K, I don't have a trampoline in my back garden because I'd break the damn thing. But I understand what it is like. When I'm off work and I hear kids screaming in my local area, it drives me completely doolally around the twist. So yes, especially when it's after the quiet hours. which is usually about 10 PM. But on light nights here, kids do play out late, especially bouncing balls around and everything else, and it does get rather annoying, especially when the teenage girls are screaming their heads off like they're watching a horror movie. But anyway, good groan, I do sympathise with you in some way. If you want to email in a response to that groan, you want to send in your own groan, Groantent, ideas, feedback, ideas, you can drop them all off. Here's how you do that. You can shoot one off to the Groanzone Pod email, which is thegroanzonepod@gmail.com. You can join us on Discord and Facebook. Either or. The Discord one is the Groanzone. The Facebook one is the Groanzone Podcast Facebook group. Speaking of Facebook, you can use Messenger to hit up myself, that's Mistere Groaner, or admin Nicole, which is Nicole Amos. Lastly, you can drop a comment on any platform you listen on. Spotify, Amazon, Podbean. The list is endless of ways you can drop comments on now, on so many platforms. However, we don't get alerted, so you're going to have to tell us. And bear in mind, if you're a new listener on Spotify, you do not get the first few episodes. You only get those on Podbean. So if you want to listen from the very start, from episode 1, have a Groanathon, you can do, because that will be a full 181 episodes of groany goodness, and all the specials as well. But of course, thank you Groaners for always listening, and always groaning in as best as you can. We do appreciate it. We go from groans to facts now, with another fact from the Fact Drop on Black Day. Koreans celebrate Black Day every April on the 14th. It is 1 month after White Day on March the 14th, and 2 months after Valentine's Day. It's the last day of Korea's romantic holidays. On this day, some singles may go all out and dressed in all black, from clothes to nail polish. There's also a spike in the sales of black coffee, and companies may offer some matchmaking events to single people on Black Day. Unlike Valentine's Day and White Day, Black Day doesn't require giving gifts. Oh, my kind of day then. Save the wallet? Well, hey, you'll learn all sorts on this show, don't you Groaners, you really do. But Black Day, when you don't need to buy gifts. Hell yes. More facts to come, well, one more to come before the end of the show. As in life, Groaners now, you know you need a bit of luck, but of course with luck comes unlucky. So with this section we have, which has been verbally given to me by a friend of mine, Linz of Longbenton. And 2 weeks ago, she escaped a hotel roof fire, or roof laundry fire, on her last day of a holiday in Lanzarote. So that was both lucky they escaped, and unlucky of the fire in the first place. Her partner was equally lucky because she sent them back into the burning building to go and retrieve their passports. Because I imagine if their passports caught ablaze, they'd have a hard time getting out of Lanzarote, wouldn't you? But glad all parties involved were not harmed in any way. That is a brief, to the point, unlucky and lucky from Linz of Longbenton. Thank you very much, Linz. Gimmie Da Question is our next game, Groaners, as we stay with luck, because you're going to need luck to match the answers, which I give you first, up with the questions, which I give you second. Here we go with round number 1. Your answer is a pig. Your questions are A. What was considered to be a holy animal in 1066 England? B. What animal cannot look up into the sky? Or C. What animal was considered to be a beef substitute during a shortage due to mad cow disease? Go Groaners. Pause here. Pick the right question to match up with the answer. What do you think it is? Go. Round 2, Groaners. Here we go. Your answer is Wyoming. If you live in Wyoming, because people do listen from there, you have the advantage here. Your questions are A. Which American state only has 2 elevators, or lifts, as we Brits say, in its entirety? B. Which state farms dung beetles which are in demand? Or C. Which state banned Denny's, that's a restaurant for those that don't know, in 1978? Go Groaners, pause here. Give me your right question and then unpause. Go! Round 3, Groaners, your final round. Your answer is a deck of cards. your questions are A. What can be shuffled and have a unique order to them, which is unique and never be seen again? B. What has caused the most conflict across America from the Wild West to present day? Or C. What replaced flashcards in Magic to give sleight of hand tricks more flair? Pause your groaners, pick the right one that matches up the answer, then unpause. The right questions will be married up to the answers later on, groaners, and find out if you get points. You will see, you will see. Now, groaners, unfortunately, we don't have a hero or zero of the week this week, so that remains to just turn again to Admin Nicole for the final fact drop for this week's episode, and then we'll move on to the game answers, and then we will play the final game for this episode. Here we go, groaners. Fact drop number 4 for Black Day. At its roots, jjajangmyeon, there's a word again, or black bean noodles is a dish made of noodles imported from China. However, today's jjajangmyeon in South Korea is incomparable to any Chinese noodle dish. The noodles are thick and made of wheat. On top of the noodles, or separately, is served the sauce. It is a black bean paste mixed with soy sauce, pork, onions, and zucchini. It often includes seafood and cabbage, and it's also possible to find meat-free versions. As a decoration on top, you may find a cucumber and boiled eggs. It almost sounds like a version of ramen noodles, so to speak. Kind of. Never had ramen noodles, I've always been curious. But then again, I'm weird because I like egg fried rice and egg in variations of like other versions of egg fried rice, like special fried rice. But I hate egg itself, like boiled egg or fried egg. Can't stand it because I'm strange. But never mind, groaners, never mind. Now we must move on to those all-important game answers. Here we go. We will start with the game we've literally just played, which is of course, Gimme Da Question. For round 1, your answer was a pig. The correct question was B. What animal cannot look up into the sky? I didn't know this. I didn't know that pigs can't look up. But then again, a pig doesn't really have a neck, does it now? Round 2, your answer is Wyoming. If you live in Wyoming, you may or may not know this. Hi, groaners in Wyoming. Your correct question was A. I don't believe you only have 2 lifts in your state. Can you tell me, anyone from Wyoming, where are they? And round 3, your answer was a deck of cards. Your correct question was A. Yep, if you shuffle a deck of cards, that will be unique and quite possibly never be seen again. So you could say a deck of cards has an infinite possibilities of shuffles. Quite strange, really, but then again, who knew? We move on to Please Reverse the Music. For round 1, your tune was Halo by Beyonce. For round 2, your tune was Umbrella by Rihanna, one of the most annoyingest, catchiest tunes ever in the history of pop music. And lastly, a boy band classic, it was of course Hangin' Tough by New Kids on the Block. Your movies, groaners, don't quote me on that, was of course round 1, the classic Ghostbusters. Round 2, your answer was Dredd. Not Judge Dredd, because that was 1995, it was Dredd from 2012, starring Carl Urban. And round 3, an action classic, PG rated, The Fifth Element, starring amongst others, Bruce Willis, Mila Jovovich, and Chris Tucker. And a little comedian cameo for Lee Evans in the movie as well. How's that for you? If you scored points across those games, groaners, well done to you. And of course, I nearly forgot, from last week, what the hell are we? The answer was those Easter Island statues. I want to know what type of statues they were. The solution was Maui statues. That's M-O-A-I. That's the type of statues they are. And there are 887 of them on Easter Island. How's that for you, groaners? But taking us out is Admin Nicole with the final game for the episode, which is of course Anagram Anxiety. And the anagram this week is Alicia Accused Populace. That sounds like a weird tagline to a weird movie or game. That's ALICIAACCUSED Your clue is it food or is it a flower? Well, that's the question, is it? Is it food or flower? I don't know. I have no idea what this could be. Good luck, Groaners, unscrambling that little mess there. The answer will come next week. Hope you enjoyed the show, Groaners, because it's been a long one this week. And of course, sorry we didn't have a Hero Zero of the Week. I've really enjoyed doing this week's episode, Groaners. Thanks for joining in. Take care. Bye-bye. Your games forthwith are being. That makes no sense. While Valentine's Day in Korea focuses on couples of people in